We're rolling. Number
Hey,
9.
hey, hey, what's up, everybody?
What's
Back
up,
for
Phil?
episode 9.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about you? How's your week been going?
Busy, as always.
Of course, of course. That's
Plenty
good.
on the docket. Finally a red day. Could be actually
Exactly.
good.
Time to buy.
Somewhat needed in these times.
Mm-hmm. You know, you, there's a guaranteed way to win most times, and that's just buy
Buy
red,
dips, yeah.
sell
Buy,
green.
buy dips, yeah. Yeah, tons to talk about. Baseball. We got baseball stuff to talk about. Where the future's located. Elon Musk's moving. Goldman's on the move with some different divisions.
Yeah, that is wild stuff
Yeah.
there.
Lockdowns in New York, Chicago, LA. Restaurant owners are losing their minds. Some different people in different industries all losing their mind. Vaccines, maybe. Um, Howard Stern with a big contract.
Huge.
Yeah, big old contract. SoftBank cashing in on DoorDash. Maybe get into that, and maybe like some gaming and esports, and what we think on that. So with that, I guess we'll set off with the 30 MLB teams who are suing a couple insurers, 3 insurers, for a couple $1 billion of I guess lost profits or whatever it may be, or they're suing the insurance companies for not paying these claims for billions of dollars of lost revenue. So, what are your thoughts there? Are you going to be successful?
Well, that is. I'm assuming it was for something like in the event that the stadium ever closed. Some unseen forced circumstances that they couldn't take in the revenue of the people coming in to the stadium.
Yeah, that would make
And
sense.
yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. It's kind of just shows where things could go. Nothing's guaranteed, I guess. So in reality, at the time, whoever signed that contract, those teams, they thought they were set. They thought they were fine in this instance, and they may be, they may not be, but they're definitely going to spend a lot of money fighting it out in court. And the real winners of that are going to be the lawyers that they hire to fight this case out, because those dudes are going to cash out.
Yeah,
Cash
and
out.
it was filed in California Superior Court, Alameda County. It was in October, I think, against AIG and Factory Mutual, fire and casualty company who refused to pay the claims made by the MLB, despite the all risk policy, as it's quoted here. So it looks like all inclusive, all risks are inclusive in the policy that the MLB had purchased. The MLB cited lost revenues due to the coronavirus, due to ticket sales as the reason that they were filing the claim. But of course, the claim wasn't paid. So like you said, those guys who are fighting that case are going to be people in South Los Angeles or South California, Southern California. And I think you had mentioned this before. It's going to be a long drawn out thing. It's not something that's going to be
Definitely.
settled soon. But something I mentioned to you was, assuming, this is kind of a matter of simply what is the contract state. So if the contract was all risk inclusive, then that claim could essentially be filed for a loss of dollar in essentially any shape or form, as my understanding is. So I would say that lost ticket revenue as a account of the coronavirus would fall under that without a doubt, and the billions would have to be paid. I don't see really what
Mhm.
the holdup or why these insurance companies are kind of delaying or refusing to pay the claim.
Well, how much is the claim for? I wonder. Let's here. Does it happen to say how much they're suing them for?
Uh, just says the teams have claimed to have lost billions of dollars in unsold tickets, hundreds of millions in concessions, and tens of millions in parking and suite sales.
Well,
Merchandise sales and corporate sponsorships are also included in the over $1 billion lawsuit. So it sounds like north of $1 billion is what they're suing for. I would assume that they were suing for the amount that the claim was made for. So probably in the couple billion dollar range.
Exactly. So the yearly revenue of AIG is 50 billion a year. About that's what it was in 2019.
Mhm.
So 50 billion. That's that. Even if they're suing them for 500 million, it's a lot of bread. It hurts
Yeah,
the
and
bottom line. So
this
clearly,
is
there's an
we're talking
incentive for
about
them to try to
we're,
fight this off.
yeah, we're talking about 30 MLB teams filing a suit, and this is, I don't know if it's one suit or 30 separate suits, but
Yeah.
regardless,
Mm-hmm.
there's been somewhere around 1,400 lawsuits filed in insurance companies for claims of lost revenues or lost this or that as due to the coronavirus in terms of business policies. Uh, so not only are they going to be looking or trying to, I guess, make sure that they're only paying whatever is necessary to on these claims or whatever should be paid out on these claims, but they're also trying to keep themselves operating by saying, listen, we're not going to be able to pay these policies at all going forward either, or be in existence if we continue to pay all these. I mean, 1,400 total suits based on lost revenue for coronavirus. You can only imagine
So those
how
are the ones
much.
that they're refusing to pay. Those are the ones they paid already.
Yeah,
Insurance
and
companies are definitely taking a hit from all that.
oh, terrible. And I would be interested
Mm.
to see how many businesses were taking not only or were making claims to insurance companies on business policies, but we're also taking PPP loans and that type of thing, and kind of doubling down
No
on
doubt.
how they can pull money out of the pandemic.
Yeah, definitely. Because I saw an article talking about how a bunch of sports teams, it was NFL though, actually not MLB, but the NFL teams, they got, I think it was 30 million a team for PPP loans. So
Yeah, and I mean
everyone's dipping in there, but
Tom Brady, we were talking about that earlier.
exactly,
So
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's company, the TB12, was it apparel and stuff like that, took over $1 million PPP loan for their wages or whatever. I'm not sure what the number of employees he has there, but it's a decently sized operation in the New England area. So
Yeah, and you know what? Why not? At the end of the day, it's not like he's a big. I mean, the NFL. I guess people can make the argument they're bigger businesses, but still, like Tom Brady, he's not a big business.
no,
He may be
yeah,
he may have more money than the average person, but why does that?
yeah, but the
Why does that?
scale of his
Exactly.
business on his return is probably smaller than uh, some small business owners that they probably have larger operations and would qualify for
Mhm.
larger PPP loans than he did himself, and probably did get those. I would say likely or definitely got those PPP loans just alongside him. So it's really the scale of the operation, and that's one thing that you know I get from outside ventures. He's benefited, and some may say, well, he should kind of take the fall because he benefited so much from the other things. But in the same sense, he provided a service in that sense and got paid for it, whatever he was worth, and
Exactly.
has
So
gotten
why
paid what he's
should
worth. Yeah. But on the flip side, just because your name is on the billing doesn't mean that operation is necessarily extremely profitable or worth a ton of money to him at all. And it's probably not liquid capital either. It's just tied up into the name and the brand. So um, from a liquidity standpoint, I'm sure he needed that PPP loan to continue operations there.
100%? And like you were saying, what he did his service, like he was doing what when he was playing football, he was out there entertaining people, and he was paid. And well, I mean, he still is playing football, but he was getting paid accordingly for that. So why should he be penalized in another business venture for his previous ventures?
Yeah, no, I agree
Exactly. Like
100%. That's something
that.
that's always bothered me is
Mhm.
the people who get all rattled about the professional athletes making all the money, and it's like, what? Listen, we got how many people in this country, and I would say the vast majority of them are going to a sporting event a year at least. Not the vast majority, but a large chunk of them are going there and spending a bunch of money. Um, you know, they're getting paid according to what they're bringing in, and
Definitely.
the market is determining their value in one of the purest senses of any
Now let
market
me
in the
ask you
world.
this though: if the market is well, not even that. This is just wild. I saw this.
Mhm.
You know how we had that Wednesday game at like 3:40 last week,
Yeah.
the football game. There
Mhm.
was something like 11 million viewers for that.
Mhm.
right? The NBA Finals last year, Game
Mhm.
5, only had 5 million viewers.
Really, that's a very interesting stat. I didn't know that.
And NBA players make a lot of money, but there's also a lot less of them on the team, no doubt.
That's you do
So
have to spread it over a lot
yeah,
smaller area. Yeah, and
but
think about also
it's
the
wild.
traction of you're just saying U.S. viewers. Think of how many viewers are in China and places like that are watching the NBA who are not watching football on Sunday or on Wednesday or at
100%.
any time. So it does change it a little bit, but
NBA is definitely a worldly sport
yeah, yeah.
compared
But
to football.
I guess
It's pretty wild though, honestly. That
yeah,
Americans love football. Just that's the only thing you can say from that. We just love football.
yeah, very true.
But
Uh,
honestly, that kind of gives us a good route to transition. I honestly think if you're looking to make a play in the sports field, didn't pretty sure LeBron um
bought an esports gaming team.
bought an esports gaming team.
I think
I think that is the
there's
next play.
multiple NBA players who are in it. I think James Harden also has some type of it might be another player, but I think it's James Harden who has a position in some esports gaming team. And there's a lot of athletes who are going that route. And I
100%.
mean, yeah, think of what Vince McMahon did with the WWE or what some of these other. I mean, PLL is not really there in
Yeah.
that type of sense yet.
Nah.
But I think Vince McMahon is a huge example, and it's kind of like he owns the entire industry, so it's a little bit different. But uh, you know what Jerry Jones has done with his career could be the same thing that somebody else can do in the esports gaming career over the next 25 to 30 years. Without doubt, that's a market that's going to take
The
off in a
viewership is
level.
just
Yeah,
growing
it's
so
incredible.
much.
It's incredible.
So
I mean,
much.
yeah, to think about how many
And
people just enjoy. I mean, people my brother's age, they're literally watching other people play video games like we watched, sports while, we're playing
yeah.
video games, watching whatever sports on the side. They're playing video games, watching video games on the side.
And
And it
like
kind of
it's expensive if it's not actually that expensive if you think about it in reality. Think about the money your parents spent for you to play hockey or lacrosse over the years or football.
yeah,
It adds up. And then you could have just had a computer and there's gonna
yeah.
be people that are just gonna be playing computer and like actually
$25 a month for
trying
Wi-Fi, and they don't have to travel.
trying to go pro, which is kind of
Hmm.
sick to think about because
The competition, yeah, the supply of competition is going to be so much more vast than the supply of competition at a high level of baseball
I'm
or
just thinking
football.
about the
Or
health of people. I'm just thinking about the health of
that's
people.
also true. Yeah,
It's
you're
gonna
not
be
going to get injured
wild.
and fail out of or fall out of esports.
Yeah. But also, we're gonna have mad kids just sitting around getting fat in front of computers. I hope not, but I think esports gonna definitely be a huge growing industry, and I personally am definitely going to be making plays in the esports worlds in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think over the next 25 or 30 years in terms of uh, industries that are kind of completely undeveloped, or I wouldn't say completely undeveloped right now, but are like really
It's
in their
definitely in
in
its
their bare
starting.
roots. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
roots
the early
still.
adapter.
Yeah, who are going to be huge in that 20-25 year. Uh, and I mean, I guess it's been a little bit of a smaller time frame, but it may be a smaller time frame than 20 or 25 years because
I think it could be. I think it could be honestly.
how
The way
technology
technology
compounds.
is.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, you think of like social media when Twitter, Instagram came out. What was it, 2012 or 2013, when all these things really started to come out? The Facebook app, and all that stuff, and think of what they were then in their absolute roots to like what they are now, and you could be looking at the same type of growth from the esports and e-gaming industry over
Yeah,
a
I
similar time
mean,
frame, 8 years, 12 years, 10 years.
literally 10 years. Think about it, how much social media has changed, like
Yeah.
insane amounts. Everyone uses it now. Everyone gets their news from it. Like it's absolutely insane. Imagine esports on that upward curve like that. It honestly it's already there. It's already there. Like the groundwork has been laid for it. I've
Mhm.
seen it now because I have a friend who's trying hard to get into this one game because there's all different games for it to become pro
Mhm.
and whatnot. And now like after him like explaining it all to me and like watching a few of the matches with him, like I can really see it. Like there's thousands of people watching these matches. They have commentators, they have
Yeah.
everything. It's there. It's all there. There's going to be a Joe Buck up there announcing to the
Hmm.
person's
Yeah.
kill each
and
other.
and there's going to come a point when there's going to be a Tony Romo who was the the former great and took that
Yeah,
role over. You know what I'm saying? Is now
100%.
commentating and picking apart.
Because they already have their own little legends in their sphere, Like this
Yeah,
kid will
yeah,
tell me, he'll be like, "Oh, this dude's legendary." Like
yeah, and
he's been in the game before it was like competitive like this.
and it's different because and it's interesting because you had the guys who are the good gamers really, and I don't know a ton about the specifics of it, but of a 360-foot view of the industry. You have the people who are really good at the games who do pretty good. You have the people who are very entertaining who do pretty good, but you don't get to that top, what's his name, PewDiePie level without being extremely good, but also extremely entertaining. So like the people who are really good in that industry are,
Yeah,
just like the people who
yeah, they're
are
entrepreneurs,
the
they're
LeBron
hustlers.
or the whoever, that
They're
not only are
hustlers.
they they're great, at their craft, but they're also electric personalities and different things like that. Because you're not going to sit on there and watch somebody for hours on end who's just completely boring,
But they're
sitting
also
there
willing
playing
to
the
put
game
that work
quiet.
in to edit videos for hours from the start, from when they weren't making money.
That's true as
They're
well.
hustlers. They're creating content while trying to play pro, while trying to stream.
Hmm.
It's I
So
respect that grind.
where is the play then? I guess So are we looking at things like Twitch and how to put money into streaming services of that nature? Uh, GameStop.
Personally,
What do you think goes with GameStop?
well, GameStop.
How does the industry transition from buying games at GameStop or in person to a lot of times you're just downloading it off the PlayStation Store or whatever the Xbox Store is or something like that, or you order it online. What's going what do you
So,
think?
well, I think a lot of it's going to be like Netflix. It's going to be streamed right to your computer. I'm not
Hmm.
really sure how GameStop stock has come back from sub $3 to
Yeah.
above 10. It's wild. But I
Let me
think, like I was
ask you:
saying, it's
Do
gonna
you
be like
think
it's gonna be like a
that has a
streamed
large thing
library.
to do with people being at home, with the pandemic and people being at home? They're
No, it was already
avoiding.
going that way. It was already
Okay.
going that
Okay.
way because there's this website. Because this is like I don't have a computer, so I'm not really. I gotta get way more into this to
You're talking
grasp.
desktop.
Yeah, I'm talking desktop because
Yep.
computers are where it's at for these people. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
for the esports world, they don't use consoles; they use computers.
Hmm.
And the way it works, it's like a library of games, and it's like Netflix. Like you don't download it, so it doesn't take up space. You
Hmm.
just stream it over the internet from the cloud.
And you're playing it while you're streaming it, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Hmm.
So
Now, so
I feel like that's gonna do it. I
none
feel
of
like
these
that's gonna
games are
hammer
paid.
GameStop.
None of these
Oh no,
games are
they're
paid.
paid. They're paid. They're paid. You pay for them.
Okay, so you pay for the subscription service or you pay for each individual game.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm sure Steam has a subscription service.
It's called Steam.
Probably. Yeah, it's called Steam. We'll look it up right now.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look that up too. It's That's very interesting. I mean, it's a hell of a business model too to think of some type of Netflix type thing with games. And you think, I mean,
Oh, it looks like
Blockbuster, you used
it
to be
looks
able to
like
rent video games. It'll be interesting to see if GameStop does make a play like that, or if somebody else makes a play like that, and kind of where Blockbuster wasn't able to make the change and got put out of business by Netflix. Is GameStop going to be able to make the change, or are they going to get put out by? Because that type of thing
Mhm.
is coming that you just mentioned there, where you're just going to pay for the streaming service and you're going to have access to maybe you pay X month and you get access to 30 games or whatever games it might be, and different games might link up with
Yeah,
different streaming services or things like that. It's going to be the same type of thing, only in the game universe. So
100%. And this
yeah,
it looks like Steam. You just buy the games through them, but then they're in like your library,
okay.
and you
Uh,
could.
so
So
similar to the PlayStation Store or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Mhm.
But I think there's probably a large hit in the fact that Fortnite is free. Warzone is free, so people are playing these all the time,
The
especially
free games.
throughout
Mhm.
quarantine. And they're free games. Yeah, they don't have to pay. They're paying the Fortnite people for the add-ons or the
Now I think
costumes or whatever it is.
that definitely pushed ahead people watching other people play video games. Like people closer to our age. Like think about, for example, all of our friends when Fortnite, how everyone was playing Fortnite. Like
And
Jack, Kel, all of them. You don't think they were watching some Fortnite videos, of like
yeah,
better players to learn how to get better?
and you're
So
even talking. I mean, even think from the other sense of you know when there was no sports on, there was, mass amounts of people who were watching, PS4 or PS4 or Xbox video games, computer versus computer,
Yeah,
basketball, NFL, uh, MLB, all types of different stuff was going on.
literally.
Basically anything you could find in any game you had, they were playing computer versus computer just so you could watch
Just so you could
sports.
watch a gamble on it.
Yeah, it's exactly
Literally.
it. No, 100% is.
But there is a small population who was straight watching that. I'm telling you,
Who
which
was
sounds
just
very,
watching it to watch it? Yeah, no, yeah.
which sounds weird, but there is.
And it's a growing population too as we transition through time. It is a growing
Yeah,
population, and like you said, I think it was definitely probably sped up um, by everything that's going on in the lockdowns and such.
yeah, and I think honestly, personally, the play is to possibly latch on if you can into a team. I
You're
wish.
saying, yeah, well, yeah, that's
Phase. If I wish I could have thrown money into Phase back early.
now
I'm pretty sure that's what
now
LeBron bought into.
that's what he. So
Yeah,
these are definitely private equity deals and not.
no
You're not
doubt.
seeing any, yeah,
Yeah, you're not getting.
any listed.
Yeah,
What would you say is listed for those people watching?
there
What is
is
listed in the esports realm that you can
there's a few
possibly go and make a
ETFs.
play on? Is there?
There's a few ETFs. I like personally Turtle Beach
Mhm,
headphone company.
mhm.
Um, GameStop gaming, but we just talked about how
Yeah,
I don't think GameStop's gonna survive really.
yeah. Now,
But
why do you like Turtle Beach in terms of the stream? Because you think of the actual hard products that they have in terms of headphones and stuff, or are you thinking that they're going to pull a BlackBerry type thing? Because you also
mm,
think of like
mm,
Beats came in, different things like that. Are they going to pull a BlackBerry and go
no
from
doubt.
making cell phones to chips now in cars and completely change and do different things for esports, or is it because of the hardware that they're
Well, from what I've been watching too on the sport, like the few esports things I have watched, they have ads in them,
making?
and Turtle Beach does advertise, so I like that.
Mhm.
And being that it's growing, the industry's growing, I think a lot more kids are gonna see these people wearing
Just to
Turtle
share, yeah,
Beaches,
yeah.
and they're gonna be like, I need to wear these Turtle Beaches to be good, just like how we needed the Nike Vapor gloves to be able to
I
catch
was
the
just
football good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's a brand for everything, and yeah, you think about Jordan for basketball and how that's taken off,
Yeah,
or Nike,
they
or
want to be like Mike.
football, Under Armour in football, yeah, yeah, and I mean there's brands for hockey, Warrior is a
Hmm.
lacrosse one, but also a hockey one.
Hockey, yeah.
Easton was a hockey one. Bauer is a hockey one. Um, there's gonna be
Exactly. So you
some
know what I
type of
mean?
brand, yeah,
And
yeah,
when you
that
go
they're
to
gonna be
hockey
doing
games, you
putting
see
out.
Bauer advertisements, but you don't
Mhm.
see it anywhere else really.
Yeah.
But like if hockey were to grow, Bauer's gonna grow with hockey.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly it.
It's
Yeah.
kind of an
If you're an
indirect play.
outsider, you're not going to necessarily know everything about Bauer, but you're going to say as an outsider, if I think hockey's going bigger, then Bauer's the hockey company, or
Yeah.
the
Bauer,
supplier for
Easton,
hockey apparel. Yeah. So if I latch onto them, it's going to go the right way for me.
because I'm sure there's another headphone company out there. Honestly, I haven't heard of them because the only headphones I've ever owned have been Turtle Beaches.
Yeah.
And
No.
my brother as well.
I have a pair as well. Brother has a pair as well, and that, like you
Yeah.
said, if you go into a GameStop, that's what you're going to find in a GameStop.
Yeah.
You're not going to find other stuff. So it's kind of like they have, I would say, at least the majority of the market share in terms of the wearables in gaming. Um, so it would be interesting, and it would be interesting to see how other, like Beats or one of those companies, how
I
they
could definitely see
try to
Beats making a play. Why
implement
not?
themselves into that market, because there's a lot of people who are seeing the growth of this market and the possibility for further growth in the market. So
And why would you not take your quality product headphones, a company that already has our Beats or Sony that has these quality made headphones and then bring them
mhm,
into that market?
mhm.
And I feel like that would just make sense.
Now let me ask, how do you see, because I feel as if anything in terms of technology or computing or uh, I don't even know how to put the thumb point on it, but really the computer based stuff, Apple and some of those other firms tend to try and put their hand in it, but we haven't seen Apple really make a move or have any murmurings of anything to try and put their hand into that
Oh,
type of
yo, can
market.
we
Or
pause it?
yeah,
Good looks, good looks.
So Apple and Microsoft kind of getting into the gaming world. What do you, or other companies really too? What do you see about them? Because they've been kind of quiet from their perspective, or from their
Well,
tendencies of being loud players in all industries of that nature.
well, now like Microsoft, they're already a big player in the aspect of
Okay.
Xbox, but
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
but I could definitely see them moving more into the competitive worlds of some aspect. Well, they do own some game titles.
Mhm.
They're just so big. I'm sure they have their hand in it somehow. Honestly,
Mhm.
Microsoft, they probably own some company or through some private equity. They have their hands in
Yeah.
a tournament, or they're at least advertising. No doubt they have to be selling parts because these
Mhm.
computer kids they spend so much money on computer parts. I'm
Yeah, they do.
talking it'll be a graphics card, $3,800,
Mhm.
$4,000. It's like what? $4,000? You can buy a car for $4,000.
Yeah, literally. Jeez. No,
So, but
it's
Apple,
it is
I don't know.
wild.
I think Apple will stay where they are. Maybe they'll start building some stuff, but I don't know. They're kind of kings of the phone, mobile, um,
Yeah.
computer. So like well, they have computers too. I don't really know why they haven't moved into the gaming computer world.
Yeah, that's
They do have their super Mac
that's my kind
computers.
of thought. Yeah, because they're so good at, well, and
Those Pro Macs, the big desktop ones. I don't. They're like so expensive.
yeah, and that might be the reason, because Microsoft is really, in the name, it's a software. They've mastered the software, whereas Apple has mastered the hardware kind of aspect of it.
Hmm.
There
Everyone
definitely
runs
has to be,
Windows. No
yeah,
one runs Mac.
no, but there has to be some type of, um, I guess, some type of advantage that they can provide, being as technologically advanced and as big and wide reaching as they are
Mm.
to the industry in terms of hardware. So that's why I asked, because I was interested in kind of curious as to why they hadn't really publicly poked their nose, or popped their head into that industry in any real sense.
No, I think it would be interesting for them too. I think anything Apple puts their minds to, they're gonna shake up.
They're
They
definitely
got
going
the,
to
they got the
certainly shake
money
up.
and the
Mhm.
research and development to go in there and shake up whatever they want to get in behind. Same thing with Amazon. I think Amazon will actually be a big player,
Well,
and
that was actually just going to be my next question. Now, what do you think
because
Amazon goes from? Because
they own Twitch, Amazon. Yeah, they do.
I'm not sure
They
about that.
do own
That's very
Twitch.
possible that they do. Yeah,
Yeah, they own Twitch. So
they're already got
they're
there.
already
Yeah,
they're already in there. Yeah, I was gonna say they're already they. That's it. That's their play.
and I'm sure they'll have other things to come. Honestly, and I would say that they could be, well, Twitch is their streaming service, but um, something in the idea of that whole, uh, Netflix type, subscribe to the, or get the subscription, get X number of games type of thing. I could see them really venturing
You can
deep
see
into that,
Amazon
because
being the
yeah,
ones to do that. I
yeah, because
I
they
agree.
love
They have the
models
money and
like that.
power.
They love models like that, and they also have the infrastructure in place to distribute that, the games, whether they be physical copies, or
Hmm.
through
And the cloud web service, no
yeah,
doubt.
that's what I mean.
Hmm.
So
That's
that'll
a
be
very
interesting.
interesting take on that. I agree though. I agree 100%. Amazon is definitely Amazon could be one of those. At the end of the day, Amazon's one of those companies you just want to latch onto, have a piece of, because they're everywhere. They're
Mhm.
gonna be with us. They're our next G right now. Like
Yeah, yeah,
they're building the U.S. economy around them right now. They said we're latching on. This is ours, and let them
yeah.
do it for 20 years. We'll see what happens.
Well, that's the thing too. Well, the only thing is, you have to understand, take into account that, you really can't put too long a time frame on it.
Yeah, you never
We can
know.
latch
Look at
on, but
look at G, Ford, all
that's
those. They
exactly my
used to be
point. Yeah,
the biggest, strongest companies. The economy used to revolve around them. When Ford would speak, everyone would listen. He implemented the minimum wage,
yeah,
but
and
now
they've
they're
gone
nothing.
obsolete
They're
to
an
an extent.
$8 stock now.
Yeah, and it's tough, because I think a lot of these larger companies who are doing other things, um, I would say Amazon largely is in the distribution business, or
$100%.
middleman business. But in reality, they're a technology company. Tesla is selling cars, but it's a technology company. Apple is selling hardware, phones, computers, whatever it may be, wearables, but it's a technology company. So a lot of these companies are really understanding and transitioning to the fact that technology is the only thing that's going to be able to help you continue to evolve with the times, and your products are probably going to have to change along with the times. And you've seen Bezos go from books to everything you can put your hands on, because he had to harness the technology, and then the product just changed. It was the same as selling books.
If
He's
you
just
look at
flipping different things. That's hot in the time.
If you look at Amazon's revenues these days, the Amazon Web Service, their cloud computing service,
Mhm.
pulls in so much revenue and it's so profitable
Mhm.
that some items that they sell on Amazon, they purposely take losses on
Yeah,
because they know, like, all right, we already made the money here. Like,
as long as we can bring the business in, then the
yeah,
cloud computing is where we're going to hit the home run, and it's
yeah,
genius. You can't knock it.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're just taking it. Well, that's kind of, well, think about it. If the supermarket can only sell you peanut butter for $4, Amazon's going to do it for $3.50 and take a loss. It's kind of messed up, but you know what? They're just driving people out. But at the same time, it's the free market. Eventually, someone will come up and dethrone Bezos.
Yeah, and honestly, in my opinion, at this time, I think that Apple is closer to the dangerous monopoly type than Amazon is
Really?
at this time. And we could go deeper into that, but yeah, right now, I think Apple is the more dangerous monopoly threat than.
Do you see they're gonna take an attempt at selling pharmaceuticals again on Amazon, like prescription drugs, like your
I think
doctor.
I think they could hit it out of the park, to be honest with you.
I think they could too, but did you know they actually tried that back in the day and failed miserably?
I didn't. No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, and I was looking into that, but I agree with you. I think it's going to work this time because I think this time the distribution system is so much bigger. They're way more They're more popular than they've ever been. The last 3-4 years, definitely they've taken off compared to what they were. Remember
Yeah,
when we first
if
started
you think,
college, Prime wasn't a thing.
yeah, and not only that, but think about what to what you just said, in which people know, no matter what it is you're talking about, if you're in a group, what is you're talking about buying anything. It could be literally anything. Someone's always going to say in that group, "Oh, you can get it on Amazon for way cheaper." Literally, those are the exact words that are going to
Literally.
come out of your mouth. No other site,
Mhm.
no other anyone. Oh, you could go to the store, this store, that store. Oh, you can go online here. It's only Amazon. Oh, you can go on Amazon. You're going to get cheaper, and you're going to get the free shipping with Prime, because who the hell doesn't have Prime these days, or who doesn't know their
Yeah.
sister, mother, cousin's brother, or whoever it
You're
may be
getting it.
that,
You're getting the Prime
yeah,
free
you're
shipping.
signed
2
into
days.
somebody's
2
Prime account.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I kind of lost my train of thought of where I was going with that, but
Um. Oh, so everyone can get you. Everyone says in the conversation you can get
okay,
it
yeah. So
cheaper off Amazon.
everybody says you can get it cheaper off Amazon. What's the number one thing that people are looking for in terms of their pharmaceuticals, in terms of their drugs right now?
Cheaper.
Getting it cheaper. So like you said,
And you know what Bezos' exact statement was? You don't use insurance. If you don't put it through insurance and you come to us, we'll make sure it's cheaper.
it's cheaper. It's cheaper. The distribution is already in place, so it's not like they have to stress over how to get things from point A to point B. That's what they're master at
And it's
masters
going to
at
be
now.
quick.
It's going to be quick. It's going to be as quick as going to the pharmacy. Well, maybe not as quick.
Maybe
as going
not.
To the pharmacy
I think it's going to have to be daily at that point. We'll see though.
That's the one thing. So maybe not as quick as the pharmacy, but pretty freaking quick. And if you're getting it for a vast amount cheaper through Amazon, you're going to just order it a day or two early, so you have it in time.
If it's a reoccurring
You're
thing,
paying.
why would you not just order it through Amazon and get it for cheaper? It's not like when you got sick, you got the flu, you have to get this that day. You might
You
go to
got to go down to
CVS
the
though.
Hannaford pharmacy or CVS,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. Yeah, cool.
But if you got on that drug that you need once a month, that you have to get the replacement once a month, you might as well just get it through Amazon if you're going to save 15% a month.
Without a doubt. I mean, you'd be a fool not to. And things like the Good RX or whatever it is now, I don't really know too much about that.
Yeah,
but
I don't know much about it either, but I'm sure if that platform works, it's going to work for Amazon. I'm sure that's who Amazon is looking to kick out of the game.
I was just going to say, it seems like they've had some success in doing something of a similar model, or designed similarly to how Amazon would roll out the sale and distribution of the pharmaceuticals. And if they can do it just based on scale, Amazon's going to do it quicker, better, faster, cheaper than Good RXs. So
I definitely agree.
I think it's good.
Definitely agree.
think it's good for
I think
people
it's good
to
too.
get it. Yeah, I think it's good for the people to have them in the industry. You know, competition is the biggest thing that drives prices up, down, or sideways in terms of lack of competition, different things like that.
It
But
breeds efficiency,
yeah,
competition.
without a doubt. So Amazon coming in and putting their stamp on it, they're going to drive prices down if they can provide things for cheaper, and that's insurance wise, and it's in terms of the drug manufacturer wise. So both of those are going to feel a lot of pressure if Amazon succeeds with that.
Definitely. All right.